Hey everybody, this is my first dev vlog on a project that I've been working on for the past couple of days. I had an idea of utilizing large language models to control AI troops within Arma Reforger, and that's exactly what you're gonna see in a couple of minutes. Before the actual demo, I think I'll go through some of the technical details and some of the things that are happening behind the scenes. So this project has two parts to it. The first one is the Reforger add-on itself. And the second part is a proxy server which has the AI model called via an API, and currently I have a couple of options to choose from. It's AI models by Anthropic, so Claude Opus, Claude Sonnet, and Claude Haiku. I also have Gemini and DeepSeek. So far, I'm testing with Claude Haiku, but the idea is that AI groups that are placed in the world send out sitraps every 60 seconds. Those sitraps are sort of structured JSON format, and Claude is able to parse those sitraps and understand the state of the groups, if they are in contact or not, their position, their current task or waypoint that they are trying to complete. And based on that, Claude is able to gain sort of a general understanding of the situation and issue orders to these groups. The orders can be a move waypoint, defend waypoint. Ideally, Claude can decide if one group is in contact, he can pull other group closer and try to flank the enemy. The current setup is I've got 4 groups, none of them have any predefined waypoints, no special behaviors. If we take a look at this group, they don't even have like a default waypoint that they usually spawn with, which is a defend waypoint. So once I jump into the game, we'll see what Claude decides to do with those groups. Before that, I have to explain a strategic marker concept. So a part of the mod is these strategic markers that I've placed around the map to give Claude even more context of what the objective is and some kind of points of interest that AI can utilize and place the groups around. For example, this red one is called objective. We can see that right here. This is an objective, which means Claude understands that this is a crucial location and he needs to defend that at all costs. Some other markers include buildings and forests. So for example, if we look at this one, this is a building marker. Green ones are forest markers. These are some more buildings over here. So yeah, the idea is, as I said, Claude kind of needs to understand the area a little bit, because obviously Claude doesn't have eyes. He doesn't see the battlefield. He doesn't have a map. So these markers will help him to make certain decisions. All right, so let's jump in and see what those groups do. All right, we are in the game. Let me show you this dashboard right here. It will help us understand the reasoning behind Claude's decisions. So as you can see, Claude received some sitraps from the groups. these are the sitraps. Claude is dealing with 16 markers, and he's controlling the USSR faction. So, you can read this. This is basically the human-readable output of Claude, which it generates based on the situation, and then it gives out different tasks. For example, Group 1 is going on a patrol, Group 2 is also going on a patrol, Group 3 is moving somewhere, and Group 3 is assigned to defend, probably the objective area. So, as you can see, Claude pulled 2 groups to defend the objective. And that's what they are doing, exactly. Now, these guys are patrolling this area, probably this forest over here. And these folks are moving into the building. And we can see that the next tick happened, and we can read the Claude's reasoning. Alright, he assigned these guys to defend this building. And these folks will just be chilling in the woods, probably. So let's just observe for a little bit and see what is happening. And don't forget to read the reasoning on the right to understand the connection of what Claude thinks and what is actually happening in the game. So as we can see, Claude kind of sticks with the original plan of having 2 groups around the objective, and the other guys are just patrolling and moving around this area over here, which is a good idea. Okay, new sitraps are coming through, and let's see. Yeah, he sticks with his plan to patrol this area and hold this objective area over here. Let's see if Claude will be able to utilize a vehicle. Currently, Claude Commander, as I call it, has an awareness of empty vehicles of his faction present in the world. So the next time he receives the sitraps, he should be aware of this vehicle, and he might assign someone to it. Let's see. Group 4 mounts available light arm vehicle at these coordinates to create mobile reserve and cover the eastern approaches. Vehicle provides mounted firepower to reinforce objective if needed. So Claude decides to send these 2 guys to this UAZ, which is pretty amazing. And during the next time the sitraps go through, he will probably assign them some kind of waypoint to move somewhere or patrol. Let's see. Alright, he's sending these guys somewhere. I suspect he's sending them here, like 10 meters away. Yeah, yeah, I mean, fair enough. So, things like that can be adjusted by giving Claude human-readable instructions, which could say something like, hey, when you use a vehicle, don't send it somewhere close because people can get there on foot. If you have a vehicle, feel free to send it on long patrol routes or, you know, something somewhere far away. I don't have these instructions currently, so Claude just decided to drive for 10 meters and dismount. Yeah, he just abandoned the vehicle and decided to patrol on foot, which is fair. So anyway, I think that's enough for this initial demonstration. So as you can see, groups are pretty much autonomous. As a mission maker, I didn't have to place any manual waypoints or script any kind of behavior. I just let Claude do its thing of, you know, reasoning and understanding. I just gave him some tools of how he could control the troops by giving out waypoints, and that's exactly what he's doing. Now, I didn't show you a part where they reacted to contact. I think this will come in one of the next videos. This part is currently under development, so to speak. I'm still working on refining and ironing out some of the quirks of how Arma Engine treats waypoints versus autonomous behavior like combat. Sometimes I observed groups being assigned a waypoint and they just plow through under fire without even shooting back. So that's something that needs to be tweaked, but I would say that the base of the idea that I had is already here and it's working great. Now, when it comes to costs, there are costs involved, of course, with calls to the API. I've been testing this for the last 3 days, probably accumulated time of 4 or 5 hours in the game, and I've spent $2 over the last 3 days. Yes, it does cost money. In theory, you could run this locally on a local LLM. I don't know how to set it up, but in theory you could do that. But I would say if I get this to work nicely, I could spend a couple of bucks for a gaming session that has this kind of smart AI commander working against players and trying to outsmart them. That would be just amazing. Alright guys, see you next time. See ya.